Hey there, Ron K. Kaufman here, and I wanted to invite you to a course that Kate C. Wild and I are teaching the first weekend in June, coming up pretty quick. And we're teaching it in person at the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York, a wonderful center that has courses with teachers from all over the world, all different kinds of subjects. This course, though, is very special. It's actually the only time that we are teaching this. This is not a course we've previously taught online or that we plan on teaching online in the near future. And it is called Autism Spirit. Autism Spirit. And the subtitle is How to Create a Deep Spiritual Relationship with your autistic loved one. And by loved one, that could mean your son, your daughter, whether they're a child or an adult. It could mean your spouse, your husband or your wife, or your significant other. It could mean a close friend, and it could certainly mean a brother or a sister or a family member. So this is who the course is for. If you love someone on the spectrum of any age, and you want to create not just a deeper relationship with them, but a more profound relationship with them that will facilitate more comfort and safety on their part and more connection to you and you feeling better about your relationship with them. So I thought I would tell you a little bit about this. So first of all, there's no doubt in my mind that you love your autistic loved one. So that's why I'm calling them your loved one. But do you love them in a way that is fully digestible to them? That's the question. Oftentimes, the answer might not be what you think it is. Do you feel a deep spiritual connection to them? It's a question to think about, right? Do you want one? Do you feel that you really understand them, what's going on for them, why they do what they do? So these are all questions to really consider, because a lot of people, if you're like a lot of people that I work with, maybe you find yourself getting frustrated, right? Maybe you find yourself sometimes feeling at a loss to truly understand and commune with your loved one. Maybe sometimes you feel anxious about the future, either their future, if they're your son or daughter, or if they're your spouse or significant other or brother and sister, maybe your future together with them. Sometimes maybe you feel anxious about that. So it's something to think about. Here's a question to think about. Do you ever find yourself wistfully comparing them, even just in your head? I'm not saying you verbalize this. Wistfully comparing them in your head to an holistic or neurotypical person, right? So these are all things that actually disrupt our ability to have a deep spiritual connection with our loved ones on the spectrum. These are totally common feelings. I'm not criticizing you if you've had those experiences, but what I can say is, even though they're common, that doesn't mean that they're inevitable. And you can actually really cultivate a deep spiritual connection with your loved one. And when you do, I think you'll be surprised at how transformative that can be. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about, what does it mean? Like, what am I referring to when I say having a deep spiritual connection with your autistic loved one? By the way, before I continue with that, I left you'll see the website either on the screen or up here, depending on where this video is posted. But you'll see it's a link that leads you directly to the Omega Institute's website, and then specifically to our course page on that website. You can read about it. You can actually register. It's really inexpensive to register for. The class goes Friday night, all day Saturday, and then goes on to Sunday. Again, this is the first weekend in June. And it's 365. There's actually two prices they list, 365 and I think 405, depending on whether you're a member or not, which is very easy to become one. And so it's very affordable, especially for what you get. It's also a chance to work in person with us instead of just online, which is what what so many of you do, work with us online. So this is in person. We're going to all be in the same room together. And they also have a great facility over there at the Omega Institute. Yeah, I really like them. So let's talk about, what does it mean to say having a spiritual connection with your loved one? So first of all, and these are things that we are going to get into in the course. One is using the 5 autism love languages to express your love to them in a way that they can actually digest and fully take in. That's really, really important. Here's another one. Release pent up fears and anxieties you might have either about their future or about your future together. See every aspect of your loved one's beauty and perfection exactly as they are. Exactly as they are. That part's important. To be unattached to your loved ones changing in a specific way. This is important too. Sometimes we can get really locked into that. If you don't get locked into that, if you release that, then that enables you to actually enjoy them as they are instead of kind of wishing for them to be something other than what they are. Right? You can only have a spiritual relationship with someone as they are. You can't have a spiritual relationship with how you wish someone would be or how they could hypothetically be different in some way. You can only have it with who and how they are right now, right? Here's another one. Resist the urge. This is another aspect of creating a deep spiritual relationship with them. Resist the urge to give false worldly meaning to what your loved one is or is not doing. Now, what does that mean? This is when we give false worldly meaning to something that they are or are not doing. What we're doing is we're making something that they're doing or not doing to mean something about us or sometimes about their love for us even. I've seen that happen a lot. Or to give a meaning to, we make a guess about what the future will look like or how they supposedly stack up against others who are not on the spectrum. So this really gets in the way. This really gets in the way. It's very common. It's very common. So it's nothing to be ashamed of if you're doing it, but it really is important to address it. Here's another couple of things. To let go of demands, expectations, and comparisons that may be holding you back from really experiencing the full beauty of who and how they are as they are. That we keep coming back to that part. Right? You can't have a true connection unless you have a true connection with them exactly as they are. That doesn't mean they're not capable of growth, just like the rest of us are, right? Of course, we all are capable of growth. But it means even whether someone's capable of growth has nothing to do with whether you can love and enjoy them as they are right now. So that's an important piece of this. By the way, if we don't, it's not just, it holds back both of you, right? If you're not really able to fully love and enjoy them and connect with them as they are right now, of course it holds you back, right? And it disconnects you. But it also makes it harder for them to see the wonder and beauty of who and how you are, right? Which is also important. But they can't see that when you're coming from a place of, like I said, demands, expectations, comparisons, because they're too busy defending themselves and their nervous system against the onslaught that comes when you're approaching them in that way. And one more, to actually understand, and we're going to get into this through the 5 natural laws of autism, what is going on with your loved one and why they're doing what they're doing and how you can be most helpful to them in that way. So we're covering a whole bunch. Some of it's very practical and some of it's very deep and emotional and spiritual. We are going to be addressing all that. It's going to be a packed course. It's going to be in terms of the content. The content is going to be packed into the course. We're going to have a lot. We're also going to be able to do all of this stuff together. And you will be in a course with a bunch of people who are experiencing similar things to what you're experiencing, who have a similar type of person in their lives, who love someone who's similar to the person you love. So it's very special. It's very special to be in a room like that. We're also going to show you how to translate these spiritual practices into a way to kind of like create, we call it creating a bubble of deep safety around your loved one and facilitating them being able themselves to be more at ease and to be less anxious. That sounds incredible, right? I mean, that sounds really awesome. I just want to say one last thing. I think what happens a lot is we can get, whether you're married to someone on the spectrum, whether you're a brother or a sister who's deeply in your sibling's life, or whether you're good friends with someone, whether you have a son or a daughter on the spectrum, people tend to get very focused on kind of like fixing or changing some aspect of your loved one on the spectrum. Maybe it's changing something with them. Maybe it's planning something, getting them ready and properly prepared for something in the future. Maybe it's problem solving. Maybe it's even getting them to be more so-called compliant, right? These are all things that Kate and I have run into many, many times. So it's okay. I'm definitely not criticizing you, but your loved one is a spiritual being, and so are you. So that means they have a deeper humanity than just how they're being in the moment, or what they're doing in the moment, or what their skill level is in the moment, or how they're communicating with you right in that moment. There's something deeper going on. They have it and you have it. And it can't always be about doing and fixing and solving and planning. We want to take some time together in a really safe and very non-judgmental environment to tap into the parts of ourselves most capable of being present, of being accepting, of being honoring, of being loving, of being open-hearted, and ultimately connected to our wonderfully autistic loved one. So if you want to find out how to cultivate this type of connection with them and really facilitate that, and also help them feel more safe and more regulated and more comfortable with you, Autism Spirit is course for you. So go to that website, go to this Omega website, go ahead and register. I would do that soon because it's coming up, like I said, first weekend in June. It'll be the Friday night. You can arrive on Friday. It'll be the Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and we would love to spend that time with you.